Hello and welcome to the Dungeon of Bad Decisions. This is the 27th installment of Anna Attempts to Explain Things. I'm your host Anna, and this week's topic is Bards. So Bards tend to get a bad rap as being weak because they can't be anything but support classes in combat. That's because where they really shine is in roleplay, NPC interaction, flavor texting their buffs, such as, with inspiration and vicious mockery and combat performance, like, you know, telling you what their insult is. I had a bard once that for vicious mockery in 5e, which is a great cantrip, especially at lower level. I always went with the Monty Python format of your father was a blank and your mother was a blank. And in like combat performances, for instance, in the Edge of Essera campaign, the first and only combat we've had thus far, Taylor buffed us using perform oratory by just yelling out facts about widow creepers from his book. Like that was literally it. It's like, widow creepers, this one's flammable. Set it on fire. Stuff like that. It's just really funny. So while rogues are skill monkeys, bards are knowledge monkeys. They in Pathfinder, for example, they get their class skill is literally every single one of the knowledges, and in Pathfinder those are a lot. And 5e, it's a little toned down, but by second level you get the Jack of all trades class feature, which allows you to add half your proficiency bonus rounded down to any skill check you don't have proficiency in. Which, I mean, it applies to skills that aren't knowledges, but, that's everything. So that makes them more skill monkeys, I guess. But they are designed primarily for knowledge, And a lot of the most memorable campaigns are the ones led by a bard. I mean, think about it. Like, what are the campaigns that you've heard about? Like, the stories that your friends tell in your particular D&D circle. Do they tell you about the time? Like, they tell you about the barbarian or the interesting, the asshole cleric or whatever. But who gets you in and out of trouble the most? Probably the rogue, to be honest. But the one who gets you out of it is the bard. Especially if it's not if there's any kind of like if your DM is into any kind of role play, it's the bard. And there's a good reason that the idea of an all-bard party is something a lot of gamers dream about doing, even if we all have to admit that it isn't very likely to last very long under any kind of remotely traditional DM. I mean, I would have had an all-bard party in my first group in college, but the only person who would have been able to DM it was so absolutely determined to play in it that there was just no way to do it. So basically what I want to tell you is don't let the power gamers and the metagamers mislead you. Bards are fucking awesome. Be a bard. Although you might want to start at like a higher level, because at lower levels, unless your DM is very heavy into roleplay, you could die. But even if you if your DM is more into is more into combat, as long as they're not like a sort of a power gaming DM, and you do this right, and you stat your bard right, you could have one of the most memorable and entertaining campaigns, because you can also, like, I guess, sort of force people to roleplay with you if you do it right. I don't know, bards are just, I really like bards. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and click here to check out the rest of the series, and then click here to subscribe. There's a link in the description below to go to my blog, where I post quotes, anecdotes, and photos from the tabletop games I play in at the dungeonofbaddecisions.tumblr.com. Also, if you've got any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Roll 20s, y'all!